going on, ladies and gentlemen? Just trying to get everything set up. Just gonna talk for a few minutes. How you guys doing? Trolling Reddit. Figured I got a few minutes, and figured I'd eat some peanuts and just talk for a couple minutes for no reason. Apparently they want to seal these peanuts good, and I'm good with that, you know, because I'm gonna get fresh peanuts. What's going on from Scotland, from Wales, from India? Really cool. Denver, Colorado. My wife was just in Denver, Colorado a little bit ago. She had to fly out from, she had to fly to Denver, Colorado, and then drive to Nebraska. Rabobank. Hurry up, Bitcoin. So it looks like prices are going back up. Don't worry, I just signed out of GDAX, you know, keeping it real. Just figured I'd check some prices and stuff like that. Bitcoin Cash is back down after Roger Ver spiked it for his Alex Jones interview. Classic. Bitcoin Cash is the bane of YouTube, or of the crypto world. Litecoin's not doing too bad. I love Litecoin. I actually have I have a little bit of Litecoin I need to transfer to Coinbase from my mining. Yeah, Devore's shut down. Devore's done. It's toast. Yeah, I mean, I never had the referral link. I never linked it for good reason. Here's my thoughts on Devore coin. I actually got into Devore. I kind of knew it was a scam. You know what I mean? Like I kind of got into it knowing. But here's the thing. BitConnect was up for a year. I apologize for eating, but you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? BitConnect was up for a year, and people were making a lot of money off of it. And everybody kind of knew it was a scam. But here's the thing. Say you put in $1,000. In about 3 months, you can actually get all of your interest back and get that principal back, worth your principal back in about 3 months. And then you're good. And then if it shut down from there, if it shut down, then you personally got your money back and you're good. So it was up for a year and everything was going fine. And literally like a day or hours before BitConnect shut down, I decided, yeah, I'd put a little bit of money into Devore. Why not? Let's just give it a try. I like to try new things, you know, and it was up for a long time. Or rather, BitConnect was, and Devore was out for a few months before I had actually gotten in. So I figured, well, it'll probably last for about a year like BitConnect has been going on. So I figure, why not? I'll put a little bit of money into it. Maybe I'll make a video on it on how, you know, how you go about it the best way. And then hours after I uploaded the video, BitConnect shut down. So I removed the video and then warned everybody not to do it. In one of my videos on Crypto Nick, I said to everybody, I made a video on Crypto Nick, and about halfway through that video, I was like, yes, I invested a little bit of money into Devore. Nothing that I, of course, would not want to lose. Of course, you don't want to lose anything. Nobody wants to lose anything. So I invested a little bit of money, and it wasn't much. I put in just a little bit of Bitcoin. It wasn't even a whole Bitcoin. Was barely even a fraction of a Bitcoin. And I'm like, why not? Give it a shot. And then that way, if it stays up for a long time and it turns out that these aren't a scam, even though that 1% interest is unfeasible mathematically, I figure that maybe they would correct it eventually, and you know, they would bring it down to maybe like 4% a year or something, or at least, you know, just a few percent, you know, a year. But that was not the case, and BitConnect shut down. So about halfway through that video, I was like, yes, I do have a referral link, but I'm not going to show that link. And because I know that people are going to do whatever they want to do. Whether or not I tell people, say, hey, stay away from divorce, stay away from BitConnect, people are going to do it anyway. They're going to do it no matter what. You know what I mean? Or they're not going to do it. My opinion on the matter can help people, but in the end, people are going to do what they want to do. So I said, you know, if you really want the referral link, and I was greatly warning everybody, I'm like, it's not a good system. It's gonna go down. But if you really want the link, you can email me. Nobody ever did, thank God. I never had any affiliates, and I refuse to do that. Also, I get, you know, referrals all the time from, you know, like affiliate emails all the time for ICOs. This, we'll pay you for this. We'll pay you if you promote this. We'll pay you if you promote that. And I never do, ever. The only things that I'll ever promote are things that I personally believe in. Sure, I could make money from doing it. I could have made money off Devore. I could have had people, you know, coming in, but I can't do that. I also had a good friend that I play PUBG with all the time. I play with him maybe every day, every few days, every couple days, and he's like, should I get into this? Should I get into this? Should I get into this? And this is between me and him personally. And I was like, no, I don't think you do. I cannot recommend it to you. If you want to do it, you can do it, but I will not recommend it to you because, you know, you're a good friend and I can't do it. I don't recommend it to my subscribers, and I'm not going to recommend it to you personally. And, you know, turns out it was a good idea for him not to do it. So, yes, I did lose money on Devore. Not much, because I know that there's people out there that put, you know, thousands of dollars in. Mine was nowhere near that. You know, I know that there's people out there that lost 10,000 and stuff. BitConnect! And, but no. So I lost a little bit, but it was just a little bit of Bitcoin that I mined, and not too worried about it, to be totally honest. Kinda. I mean, trying to ride the wave before it collapsed, I guess. You know, it's kind of a weird thing that, like, when everybody's going and doing something, and you're like, you know, that's a scam, right? And you're like, I think that's a scam. But everybody's doing it, and everybody's going, and everybody's going. And I was like, you know what, I'll put in a little bit of money and give it a shot. That was my reasoning. It wasn't like, it wasn't riding the wave. It wasn't to give out referral links, because I never did, and I never had any affiliates on my divorce. So, you know, I try to protect people from various frauds. You know, there's the whole arbitrage coin and the, what is that called? There's Falcon coin, and damn, I made the video on it. I don't even remember. Trevon James is shilling the hell out of it. So, and I made a fraud video. I called it out for being a fraud, and it's gonna collapse just the same. No lending coin is safe now. Now that BitConnect fell down, Devore went from about 150 to like basically pennies within days. And now there's Falcon coin, there's arbitrage coin, there's Thorn coin, exactly. Thank you. Now there's Thorn coin, but none of them are safe. No, none of them are safe. They're all gonna collapse. It can't be done. And once BitConnect collapsed, then Devore, and then I think it's going to be faster and faster. It's going to be like a slinky going down the stairs. It's just going to gather momentum as it goes. It's not going to be good. And that's why that's why once in a while I talk in my videos about government regulation. Not that I like the government, you know, not like I think the government needs to hold my hand, but I think the government needs to, I think ICOs themselves need to have accountability so that when these lending coins or these ICOs come out, they need to have the capital already before they come out. Because here's how like Wall Street, you know, like kind of investing works and things like that, is like these firms, they need to be insured, right? So that they have the funds in case they go under, so that those funds can go back to the people that invested under them. And I know from time to time that doesn't work correctly, and you know, you get Bernie Madoffed. But for the most part, it's all insured and regulated so that when things go bad, there is still money there. Instead of just like some French person now buying a Lamborghini, has all of your Bitcoin, and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, I even, yeah, there's Crypto Cop right there. That's my good friend right there. And I told him that's the guy I'm talking about. I told him, he was like, maybe, should I get into this too? And I'm like, no, man, I don't think you should, dude. I don't think so. And turns out it's right. So I'm really out there just trying to, I'm trying to help, a little bit. And I take some shit for it all the time. But that's just the way of YouTube. It's not a big deal. I'm pretty immune. I've had a YouTube for a long time now. So comments, trolls, I'm immune. It doesn't work. Yeah. Now Devore still has their staking up, which is okay. It actually went down because everybody has no choice now on Devore but to stake. So the staking went down. It's a mess. Don't bother. Don't bother with any lending coin like Thorn Coin, Falcon Coin, anything like that. Don't do it. Best way to invest is just simply buy some Bitcoin, wait, trade it. That's it. That's the best way to invest. Or there's gambling, which I call it gambling in a sense because ICOs are kind of gambles. And, if you buy an ICO and you get the coins, you get a whole bunch of coins for 10 cents each. And then when the coin is released, it might be $1. It might go up to $2 or something. And that's an incredible profit. However, the one problem I see with ICOs is that, yes, you now have this coin that's worth way more than you bought it for, but where do you sell it? Because it takes a while for a new developer to make... to actually apply to an exchange, because ICOs, they have to apply to an exchange. The ICO review, or the exchange reviews their coin, and then they will accept that coin on their exchange. But that takes time. So by the time that coin gets on an exchange, people are so antsy to sell. That's why you see. That's why you see coins like let's say PAC. That's why you see this. See this? This is a perfect example. It got released to an exchange. Boom. Everybody bought it. Everybody sold it. So that's the problem with ICOs, is that if you don't sell that coin immediately, you're probably gonna lose money unless you sell it sometime soon. Because as soon as it hits an exchange, people are buying it for cheap, and then immediately selling it. Because as they're buying it, that price is going up, and then when they see that price is at the top or wherever they're comfortable with, boom, it's gone. And it doesn't stick because it's just not a useful coin. It's just, there's nothing useful about it. It's just like, if you make 3 Bitcoins, what's the point of the other 2 Bitcoins? What's the point? Yeah, PAC coin. Let me read some of these comments here. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to keep up. Alex Jones is fighting the good fight unless you're a Democrat. Yeah, kind of, man. Some of the things that some of the things that Alex Jones says has validity to it. But half the stuff he says has no validity to it, like gay frogs and his penis pills and his supplements. Oh yeah, no, you eat my bone broth milkshake, and then he drinks it and he's like, oh fuck, that was gross. It's funny, man. Love your channel. I just wondered what video you uploaded a couple weeks ago and instantly deleted. Oh, the Doug Polk video. Yeah. Well, let's just say I got a lot of flack for that. Let's just say I don't care for Doug Polk. Sure, he makes interesting videos, and they are funny, because he rips on JR Business and stuff like that, which I totally agree with him, and he rips on Trevon James and Crypto Nick. I get it. But if you're taking investment advice from an addicted gambler, then you're wrong. He's a gambler. Gambling has nothing to do with investing. Gambling is gambling, and you're just picking a card from a deck and hoping it's a 10 of hearts. And if it's not a 10 of hearts, you lose. If it is, you win. That's gambling. And then there's investing. He's a good gambler. but he's still a gambler, and it has nothing to do with investing, and the only reason he has that many subs is because he is a Twitch streamer and a popular poker player, and all of his subs went to his crypto channel. That's it. That's it. That's the only reason why. But I got so much flack for it, I was like, all right, I'll just remove it. I don't want any of this drama. I'll just get rid of it. Apparently, people want to follow an addicted gambler, and that's fine with them. If that's what they really want to do, go ahead. Oh crap! Yeah, you know what? I might have actually accidentally put a referral link on a couple of videos. I do apologize for that. I do apologize. Thorncoin to the moon, then exit quickly. The only problem is with Thorncoin is with lending coins is that they lock your coins, they lock your money in for like a year. You can't get it out. It's like everybody's saying, oh, you need to get out of Davor or you need to get out of BitConnect before it shuts down. You can't. The people that got in, you can't get your money back. That's the whole point. Is that it's a lending coin and it goes down. Crypto continues to evolve. Thorn monetize. Have announced lending. Yeah. What do you think of eCoin? I don't know. There's so many coins, man. I have to actually like research it before I can tell you. How do these lending platforms even work? Is there even a way for them to operate like legitly? Yes, there is. And one is to get rid of the referral links so there's no pyramid. And two is to take that interest down to just above bank levels or near bank levels. 1% interest. If you put in like $10,000 and like you let it go for like 6 years, you'd have $1 trillion. It can't be done. What's the snack of the day? We got Kroger dry roasted peanuts. That's about it. eCoin just pumped. That's cool. 8 to 300, then back to 5. Oh damn. Sorry, yeah, I got my my comments over here, and my screen over here. Yeah, my rage vids. Some of ICOs are really good and functioning. You should just find them and make sure it's not a scam. Yes, I agree. You should do your research for ICOs. Some of them are definitely good ICOs. Hell, pretty much all the good coins that you see today have started off as ICOs. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, the top 100 turn out to be good coins. But look how many coins there are. Does it even say? I'm pretty sure... the total, what is the total? It's something ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. View all. It's ridiculous. Not all these coins can be winners. It just can't. There's only 1,500 shown on CoinMarketCap here, apparently, but there's like 5,000 or 6,000 coins at least, and there's multiple coming out every day. Crypto Cop, why don't you hop on TeamSpeak, bro?
Connected. Channel switched.
But I just wanted to hop on real quick. My baby is sleeping, and I figured I had a few minutes, and I wanted to stream for a while. I used to stream a little while back, and I would day trade live. And it turns out that the few days that I did that were really bad trading days. They were really bad. Like the price just was not going in the direction that I needed it to go to trade successfully that day. And that's just the way it goes with day trading. Like some days you win, some days you don't. Hopefully you never lose money, because I never lose money because I never sell it. I never sell it for like less than I bought it. But some days, maybe Bitcoin's at 5,000 and you buy it, and then it just dumps down to 4,500, and you go, whoop, I'm screwed. I just gotta wait a little bit before I can sell it for a higher price. It's just the way it goes. Like you can't win them all. Yeah, I mean, so like I said, man, like I said, guys, I get promotions. If you have any kind of YouTube channel and you have crypto videos and crypto tags and you put your email on there, you'll get bombarded by offers. And like, hey, what's up, man?
Hey, buddy.
And so it's like, we would like to offer you an opportunity to promote a coin. We are reaching out to you to believe, as we believe, your reach and audience engagement is a necessity in creating a good pump that will not only earn yourself money, but also those that listen to you. The group that you are invited to has been responsible for many pumps before. The most recent was Linda. Linda coin saw a rise of 2,500% in price and an increase in volume of over 15 million US dollars. So you get these all the time, and I just don't respond to them. Here, I'm going to respond to this one. I'm going to say I only make $1 million deals. I mean, they want to troll me, I'm going to troll them back. I only make $1 million deals. I'm sorry. My thoughts on ICOs is the fact that you can make a lot of money with them, but you have to choose the right ICO, and you have to. The only problem is I don't believe in pump and dumps, because developers worked really hard on their coin and they want their coin to succeed. But the only problem with a lot of ICOs, and I'm not saying all of them, because a lot of ICOs, and then one day there's going to be an ICO that might beat Bitcoin. But a lot of the times, as soon as it hits that first exchange, people buy the shit out of it because it's such a low price, and then it rockets up within 24 or 48 hours, and then people just bomb it, and then nobody's interested in it because the price was really high, and now look how low it is, and nobody touches it till the end of time. So the developers have to be clever about that. You have to be clever about it, but it is the highest profit of crypto, in my opinion, but it's a gamble.
Got the time.
What's that?
That if you got the time to waste on it, you have to spend a lot of time trying to find one.
Trying to look at them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys what, though. Excuse me. I'm just. Ah, man, I just can't eat. Once you snap into peanuts, you just can't stop eating them.
Sure.
But I'll tell you guys what. I do have an ICO coming up here soon. I'm gonna take a look at it, and I will put it on my channel. I will likely not make money from it. But I will likely also invest in it. If I make the video, I will personally invest in it. So yes, you could say that, but I'm not paid to promote it. So it's a good friend of mine that I've been talking to. I'm his mining client, if you will, and we're starting to become good friends. He's a really cool guy, and I'll keep it private though. But and he has a friend in Australia who got him into Bitcoin in like 2013. And this Australian guy, he had his whole basement filled with rigs back in the day in like 2013. And back in 2013, you didn't have PCI risers and stuff. So basically, you just had these motherboards with 2 GPU slots on them. And so you just had motherboard after motherboard after motherboard with like 2 crappy GPUs in them. Because it was just back in the day. And they didn't have the... they didn't even have the rigs, like with PCI risers stacked up. He's going to be making an ICO, and it sounds really juicy from the sounds of it. So basically the idea is that they want to make an ICO starting at like, 10 cents, and it goes up in price as it goes. And then with half of the money they receive, they're going to put that towards development. With the other half of the money they receive, they want to buy coins. They want to buy the coins. That people may be selling in the exchange, and then sort of resell them. So eventually the price of the coin will go way up. And so there's no completely perfect way to do it with an ICO. There's no perfect way to do it, but I think it's going to be good, and I really trust this friend because we've talked about it for a while, and I think I really trust him. So I think it's going to be a good ICO. I will look into it much more deeper as it unfolds. And I will tell you guys about it, and I think it's going to be good. If it's not good, I will not post it at all. So, there's that. What temp do I keep my GPUs at? As low as possible.
Yep.
As low as possible. So, for example, a 1080 Ti, a 1080 will underclock itself at 83 degrees centigrade, I believe. So, if you're if you have a 1080 and you have it in your computer and it happens to get above 83C, and the only reason it'll do that is if you have 3 graphics cards side by side and you don't have PCI risers, and it'll underclock itself, so you will lose hash rate doing that. For example, a 980 will underclock itself at 79 or 78. So just keep them as cool as possible. If you can, get risers, PCI risers, and just put them up on. You can even make it yourself. Hell, go in the get some lumber and just nail it together so that you can put your graphics cards on them, and then the risers will fit into your motherboard. It's pretty easy to do.
Also, if they have an old CPU cooler laying around, they can get a mount for it and put it on there too.
Yeah, if you put it, a giant CPU cooler, yeah.
Cheap if you got one laying around. $25 to get the mount.
The best wallet for coins: Tron, Cardano, Ripple, Stellar, and IOTA. Boy, you got the whole package there of coins. Those are like all top 10. Well, Tron is what, like 15? Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of a good portfolio. I know a lot of people will rip on you for talking about Ripple because it's used by banks. But if you're just looking to make money, there's nothing wrong with holding Ripple. You know what I mean? If you're just looking to make money, there's no disrespect in that. And if you're holding on to Ripple, nothing wrong with that. But the best wallets, well, there's Core wallets. And Core wallets are good because they help the network.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ripple has a Core wallet because it's centralized. But there's Electrum wallets. Electrum is not bad. I have Electrum for Mona and Electrum for Vertcoin, and they do just fine. I know some people will tell you not to use an Electrum wallet, but I have never had any problems with Electrum. Electrum wallet. So the difference between a Core wallet and, like, say, Electrum is that the Core, you have to download the entire blockchain. So if you want the Bitcoin Core wallet, you have to download the blockchain from 2009, every single transaction to this day. And then if you open your wallet 5 days later, it has to sync again for 5 days, for the past 5 days. So they're kind of a pain, but they do help the network. And, like, for example, the Bitcoin wallet is, the Core wallet is what? God, it's probably more than this by now, but 160, 170 gigabytes. So it's nuts. It takes forever to download. So an Electrum wallet is just a standalone wallet, and all it does is query the blockchain whenever you want to send or receive coins, rather than holding the entirety of the blockchain on your computer. So it depends on what you want, honestly.
These people want you to. Maybe these people want all the answers. They got to do some research themselves.
Well, that's kind of why I made a live stream today. I just wanted to chat with some people and have a good time.
Yeah. This is pretty cool, actually. What's going on here? Doing day trading. Any advice on making money for the next few weeks?
I'm newer, using Coinbase, doing day trading.
Investing a few K. Ooh.
Oh, nice, man. Back to GDAX then. What are you investing in? If you're investing in Bitcoin, you would just wait till it, I mean, it depends. You see, if it goes down a little bit, sure, buy it. But even right now, it's technically not a bad deal. Because if you look back, I think we can do the 1 day. I don't know how far it's going to go back on us. Yeah, see, I mean, we were nearly at 20,000. So if it goes back to 20,000 again, which I suspect it will eventually, how long that's going to take, I don't know. I hope it actually takes a long time. Maybe not a year, but I hope it takes months. Because if it goes back to 20K within a couple weeks, it might bomb again. From people selling up at 20K. Because now people have, now people have this measure to look at. They have this 20K measure to look at. And when it gets back up to this amount, you better believe that it will dump at least $1,000. So what I suggest, although I'm sure if you guys don't know this by now, like, I'm not a financial advisor, so don't put this on me. But what I suggest, what I will do is sell at this amount, because it's going to hit this. People are going to recognize that it was already at this amount. and they're going to fear if it's going to go over this amount or not, and then it's going to dump a little bit, and then it'll go back up. That's usually what it does. People are obsessed with flat numbers. 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. And when it gets to 2,000, it'll just barely poke above 2,000, and then people will sell. It's fear. It'll bomb it a few $100s, and then people kind of come out of the woodworks. They're all scared horses, you know, looking out from the shadows, and then it'll go back up. It does it like every time, basically. What am I mining now? I am mining Equihash, and I am exchanging it to Litecoin. That's also what I told you know, my friend. He had a rig. He made himself a rig, a 6 GPU rig, and he wanted my help in setting it up and giving him some advice on, you know, maybe what to do on this, that, or the other thing. And that's what I told him to do. Use Awesome Miner. Mine Equihash if you have NVIDIA. If you have AMD, mine Ethereum. And then transfer it to Litecoin, because Litecoin is a really, really, really good crypto. It just it moves well. It moves easy. It's not a scam. Low fees, fast transactions. Now, if you want maximum profit, use something like a Claymore miner, which is like a script miner, and not script like the algorithm, but like a just you have to put in a script to turn it on and to connect to a mining pool. Those usually have the lowest fees. But fees sometimes for mining are somewhat negligible, unless you're on like NiceHash, where they have like inordinate fees. So for ease of use, the easiest way to do it is like Awesome Miner, and then set it up with Mining Pool Hub, and then just auto exchange. Or you can keep your Zcash, you know, your Equihash. But the problem is that you're going to be mining a non-specific Equihash algorithm, so you're going to get chunks of Bitcoin Gold, Zcash Classic, and all kinds of Equihash stuff. So if you just set an auto exchange, all those little chunks of Bitcoin Gold and various Equihash chunks will all go to Litecoin and all consolidate on Litecoin. Another thing that's kind of interesting is the Ethereum 2.0 fork that will be coming within a couple years. That will be very interesting, because Ethereum right now is proof of work. You mine it, essentially, and it has problems like any coin with privacy and speed and this, that, or the other thing. And Vitaly Buterin, I can never pronounce his name right, but he's going to make Ethereum 2.0 and try and correct some of those problems. But now it's going, in a few years, Ethereum 2.0 will be a proof of stake coin, so you won't mine it. But the thing is that if you have one Ethereum, you're going to get one Ethereum 2.0. So you can essentially kind of double your money, but one of them is going to fall off really quick, and I imagine it's going to be Ethereum 1.0. So when you get it, it might be a good idea to sell your Ethereum 1 very, very quickly and then hold on to your Ethereum 2.0, where you can stake it and then get more coins that way without actually having to mine. Because mining is becoming a serious problem. GPUs are $1,300 for a 1080 Ti. The electricity costs are out of control. It uses, like, Bitcoin mining itself uses more electricity than 159 countries combined, like the lowest 159 countries or something like that. So it's getting out of control, and I think proof of stake is going to be the future. I've had some people disagree with me on that in the comments, but we'll see. Pantene. I actually think I do use Pantene. I do. It's my wife's shampoo, because I'm a man and I don't give a rat's ass about shampoo. So I'm like, yeah, hon, you buy me shampoo, whatever. But I think it is. I think it is. I have amazing hair. Every woman tells me I have amazing hair, and they are completely envious of it. And I have no idea, like, right, because I don't know about hair. And I used to be a lifeguard for years. And like when I was real young, like 19, 20, and women would just be like, "You have such amazing hair," and I'm like, "What?" And I touch it, and I'm like, "What is amazing about it?" And they're just like, "I don't know, it's just." But thanks though for talking about Pantene. I was hoping somebody would say something about Pantene. The only problem is that I'm super skinny, and people once in a while will be like, "Hey, lay off the meth," and I have to tell them. I have to tell them. I have to tell them that I've literally never done meth in my life, not once. Literally, This is just me. But it is pretty funny. I do kind of laugh when people say that, though. I'm like, fuck you. That's funny. The upcoming NVIDIA Ampere architecture supposedly uses 50% less power. Yeah, I mean, every GPU that comes out, typically uses, is more efficient, because you can get a CPU from 10, 20 years ago, and it's going to use the same wattage as today. And so it's not necessarily that it's going to use less power, but it will be more efficient. I think that's what you might be looking for there, is that it's going to be more efficient. It might, you know what I mean? Because let's take a look.
Numbers on this.
So here's a 1050. 1050s are supposed to be powerless cards. You don't have to plug them in. You can, because your motherboard can only supply approximately 75 watts to to a graphics card without actually being plugged in. Where are the full specs? Here we go. So this should be about 75 watts. Exactly. Because your motherboard can only supply about 75 watts to a card without being plugged in. So if you decided to put like 3 or 4 of these in your computer, you would need to plug them in, right? But the 750, 75 watts, if you go back and you look at an NVIDIA 950, it's going to be the same wattage. Let's see. So GPUs aren't using less watts. They're just becoming more efficient. So let's see if we can get the wattage here. Well, in this case, it does use a little bit more wattage, 90 watts. But you can see that it's all about the same, and it depends on what card you buy. Of course, 950s and 1050s are absolute garbage for mining. They're fairly efficient in terms of the cost, but they're not going to be impressive. But you can see it does fluctuate from model to model, and from year to year, like, from 9 series to 10 series. So it could use less power. I hope it does. And then that way you can cram more into your computer. But, they become more efficient. They really do. In terms of the fact that they're pushing way more, way higher clock speed and way more CUDA cores for only using the same amount of wattage as the last series. Yes, indeed. It's more efficient. Actually, my friend is messaging me right now. He says the paper will be done next week, the white paper for the ICO.
Cool.
Let me see. I don't want to read anything that I don't want to give away right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. We'll see the lawyers also finalize things. Website's under development. Be ready in 2 weeks max. He has named the coin. I will not name the coin yet, though, just in case. Not a pump and dump. It's going to have a roadmap for the first 4 years, updated as the time comes, considering diversifying into other countries. As well, it might be possible something to do in a year or two. No algo. It cannot be mined. It's a token on the Ethereum network. So it's not a mineable coin, but it is a... it should be a good coin. So I gotta tell him thanks. So there's that. What happened to Crypto Nick? he probably just closed his YouTube. He probably just he just deleted it or something.
Yeah, he talked to his lawyers.
He got rid of all of his videos. I'm not surprised. However, don't feel bad for Crypto Nick, because here's the thing. He made $1 million off of... Yeah, exactly. He made $1 million off of BitConnect. Then he made a live stream 1-hour video after it collapsed, and he was trying to get sympathy because he was like, oh, I feel bad for all the people that... He never apologized. That would have went a long way. You know what I mean? If he was just like, I'm sorry, guys, like, I didn't think this was going to happen like this. Okay, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay, dude. You know, like, everybody lost money, but... You know, but people would still be pissed, but an apology would have gone a long way. He says, I feel bad for the people that lost money, and they're thinking that, like, I didn't lose money, but I did. He said he lost $165,000 or something like that, or 164,000, 160. But here's how I think of it. Yeah, exactly. If somebody came up to you and gave you $1 million, then the next day they came up to you and said, hey, I have to forcefully take 160 grand from you. Would you really be that pissed? Did you lose 160,000 or did you gain 840,000? You know what I mean? It's a matter of pessimism. Is the glass half full or is it half empty? And also, he has tens of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars into Hashflare and Genesis mining. So that Bitcoin is raking in for him. He can just sit back, relax, and all that coin from the cloud mining is just coming on in. Don't worry about him. He's going to be just fine for the rest of his days. He has so much Bitcoin, it doesn't matter how much he lost or didn't lose with BitConnect. So he's gone. Oh, yeah.
I've got 4 GTX 1080 Ti's. Is it worth mining? Absolutely.
He climbed into the hole that they dragged Saddam out of. It was nice and warm after Saddam, right? It was still good. It was kind of like climbing, you know, kind of like
some pork and beans down there.
Yeah, it's just covered in pork and beans. You know, he's got some things to eat. Nick's mom took his computer away. Carlos Matos. I don't know. I don't know what happened to Carlos. When I first watched the BitConnect video, I mistakenly thought that guy, Carlos, was the CEO of BitConnect. Because, here's the reason why. Because a lot of CEOs for pyramid schemes do that. Do exactly that, like literally. They run around on stage and are like, wow, everybody's got to sell. Everybody's making money. You know, like with all the managers and the other, like, you know, executives, they're all like at the conference. And they're like, everybody's making money. And they're running back and forth on the stage. So I genuinely thought that was the CEO. I didn't know his name at first. And then I made the video and somebody was like, that's not the CEO. That's Carlos Matos, or I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know how to... I live in Arizona, but I don't know how to pronounce any kind of Spanish name. And that makes sense. But I don't know what happened to him. I mean, he got paid. You know, he got paid for doing that. So, you know, he got his money. That's just what he does. 3 cryptos that is worth investing in 2018. Yeah, I would say Ripple.
Yeah.
Neo, yeah, maybe. IOTA is good. Let's see. Yeah. You know, Monero is good. A lot of them are good. I mean, if you just go to the crypto... Honestly, this is one of the most useful crypto websites of all crypto websites, is coinmarketcap.com. You can track how much, what is happening within hours, 24 hours and stuff. You know, really, I would invest in the top 100 coins. Any of these coins that are way down here, they're up, but like, what does JoinCoin do? What does JoinCoin do? Nobody knows. What does GlobalCoin do? Does it do anything different than Ethereum or you know? I think Ethereum might end up one day beating Bitcoin, for sure, because Ethereum is much more useful than Bitcoin. And I know that's like blasphemy because everybody loves Bitcoin. Because here's the thing. Here's why Bitcoin is so expensive and so big. Is one, not only because it was the first crypto, essentially the first crypto, whatever, history is a little vague, but essentially the first crypto. Is because when you're at work, when you're with a group of friends, when you're out and about, and somebody's like, hey, do you own any of those Bitcoins? And you're like, yeah, sure do. And you start talking about them. Or have you ever tried to explain crypto to somebody who doesn't know crypto? What's the first thing you mention? Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. And so that's why everybody buys Bitcoin. Plain and simple, because it's mentioned. It's on TV, Bitcoin. It's on the news. It's a market brand. It's like Walmart, right? Like, name the biggest department store. You're like, Walmart. You know what I mean? Yeah. It just, like, it's a name brand. But Ethereum is easily the most useful because if you actually go down this list, half of these coins are probably Ethereum based. For example, like one coin I seen was this goofy medical coin. It was called like Medcoin or Metacoin or something. And what it does is that if you want to send information, you have a program and you want to send medical information from one area to another, you can encrypt it in the Ethereum blockchain via that program, via the Medcoin, and then send it to another hospital, and then there they can unpack it, decrypt it, and you'll have your medical information over there. So that's why Ethereum is useful. It's because you can put all these little goofy programs and all these ideas into Ethereum. For example, I have an idea for Ethereum, for an Ethereum-based one, and I'll tell you guys, it's a speedrun coin, and so basically speedrunners would use my program if I made it, just for example. I would make a program for speedrunners, and then when you're playing Mario 64 and you're trying to get that 120-star run world record, you're recording your time, just like all other speedrunners with their programs. But when it's done, it records that time into the blockchain, so it's unmistakable, unfakeable, and you know what I mean? Like it would put your time into the blockchain. And at the same time, by playing your games via speed running, and when you're running the program, it would generate very fractional amounts of coins. And I understand that could be manipulated in some way. Maybe you could get like 88 versions of like Mario 64 running at the same time and then generate coins. So there would have to be some kind of way to program around that, like around exploits and stuff. But I think that's a really good idea, so that when you get your world record time, or even any time, it sends it to the blockchain and sends it to a website where it is automatically recorded and automatically uploaded. I think that's amazing. That's what Ethereum does. And that's why Ethereum is number 2. And might be number 1 eventually. If you were a hot dog and you were starving, would you eat yourself? Let's see. What would be the best part to eat? So, are you like a walking hot dog like this, like straight up, or are you like a rolling hot dog? Because that would determine what part of you eat. What do you think of Buybox, good alternative to KuCoin? So you're saying Bitcoin and Ethereum is like Uber versus Lyft. The first and biggest isn't always the best. Kinda, man. Yeah, because like when you think rideshare service, who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters? No, Uber. Yeah. Right? I'm your Uber. I'm your Uber. And when you say Lyft, I'm gonna call my Lyft. It's not as good. Like it doesn't ring in your head as well. And yes, exactly. MrSotko, a fellow Tool fan. When is the next Tool album coming? Will it ever be one? I don't know. You know what? I wasn't the biggest fan of 10,000 Days. I love Tool, but it's not that I didn't like the album. It's just I wasn't the biggest fan. I'll tell you my favorite bands is probably Local H, Nine Inch Nails, Ween, Tool. Oh God, I got just so many. I think my favorite band is Ween. My favorite singer-songwriter is Mike Doughty, no doubt. Like I have a Boognish tattoo. Hello, that's my wife. My wife says hey. I love you. Thank you for tuning into the live stream. Our boy is sleeping right now, so I figured I'd hop on and do some live stream. Might want to look into Refereum. Is it on CoinMarketCap, you think, or no? Ref token? Or is it really called Refereum? Oh, no, this is... Well, it might have been. Is that what you're talking about, Ref token?
User joined your channel.
Oh, sorry, 1 second here.
I already told you what he thinks about Ripple. Watch his video.
I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I have to respond to this text. Okay. My friend, he said, what does the last thing mean? Because in regards to that ICO, because he said no algorithm cannot be mined. It's a token on the Ethereum network. And that's what the Australian guy told him. And so he said, what does that mean? So I said, it's just not mineable. They got to produce them. So it might be a proof of stake coin. I don't know. I need more info. I would need to see the white paper. But maybe they will just make all the coins that will ever be right away, just like Ripple. Well, don't get me wrong there. Ripple will make more coins, and they're able to make and deflate the coins at will. But for the most part, all the coins that will ever be were already made, like right off the bat with Ripple. Well, I guess the total supply, they're going to have 100 billion, and there's only 39 right now. So I guess I can't say that. But they immediately made about 30 billion coins right off the bat.
I like Vivo Coin. I'm a fan of it.
Vivo?
Yeah, I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, I've heard of Vivo a lot.
I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, Vivo's not bad. Yeah,
easy to mine,
and it's really it's really sticking strong too. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? It's look how like well it's staying afloat even in this crappy market right now, with the whole January issue.
Yeah.
You know, like it dipped, you know, from January, but every coin kind of, you know, it peaked in January too, and then started to dip with the Chinese New Year. But it might be okay in the end.
It's easy mineable too on Altminer.
Oh, is it really?
Great. Yeah, it's got a great pool. It finds blocks fast on Altminer.
Yeah, and there's a very low supply of it too. I love low supply coins because that means that each coin is going to be worth a lot, most likely anyway. If it becomes reasonably successful, a low supply coin like that is going to be worth huge.
Yeah.
How high do you think you will see Ripple in 2018? I already made a video on that, and I think maybe $10. Don't listen to these videos like JR Business and all these like Trevon James where they think that Ripple is going to be like $500 or $5,000. That is ridiculous. Completely disregard that. Maybe $10. It might be $8. It might be $9. I don't see it being higher than $10. It did get up one time to, where did it get to? Nearly $4, and now it's down. But more and more banks are getting on the Ripple train, and every bank that gets on the Ripple train is really going to help it out. Is it going to be $10 at the end of the year? I don't know. That's just my prediction. But holding under Ripple is not an unreasonable thing. Even if it got to $5, it would be incredible.
No kid.
Yeah, Rothschild coin equals Ripple. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
However,
but
just because
you're here to make money.
Yeah, if you're here to make money. Yeah.
If you're about the principle of it, then don't get it.
What's the difference between peanut butter and jam? Peanut butter is made out of peanuts, and jam is made out of fruits.
Fruit. You dumb.
Oh wait, jam. What's the difference between jam and jelly? Isn't one like
It's thicker. It's
yeah, I know, but there's this process that you do, and like one is more watery or something.
We're talking about
fucking jam and jelly. Oh my god.
I fucking love it.
Oh, these fucking troll questions. You guys are great.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious.
I'm surprised Stalin isn't in here trolling.
I saw him earlier.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of him.
There's this sub I have, and his name is
Stalin did nothing wrong.
Stalin did nothing wrong, and I make these videos. You know, I'm sure you guys most know, but they're, you know, MrSotko, what do you think of this? Which I think is funny. Like they're all, mind you guys, those are all satire. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but the description of them is satire. But me looking up that stuff is real. I think it's just funny. Hey, MrSotko, what do you think of this? Because everybody asks me that. Everybody asks me that all the time. So I'm like, why not just make a whole video series? But he He always he comments. He's like, "What do you think about Bitbean?" Every single episode, and I'm like, "Oh," and I gave him Doge of the Day.
Doge of the day.
Jam is seedless. You can't jelly your meat down your girl's mouth. Stalin did nothing wrong. Oh my God, he's there. Stalin did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But
But anyways.
Hey Stalin, what do you think of Bitbean, dude? But anyway.
All right. What? Everybody's losing focus now.
Yeah, a little bit of lost focus indeed. Yeah. What are you gonna do though?
But yeah, Ripple. I mean, it's about whether you want to make money or not.
Yeah, exactly. It's just because you don't like something doesn't mean you're not gonna make money with it.
People do it every day.
Right.
It's your personal feelings about it.
Yeah.
Which I like crypto because it's not fucking, banks and big business.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sort of.
So I
I
totally respect why people do not like Ripple because it's being used by banks, but
yeah. I mean, you think they're not going to get a piece of the pie?
There have been plenty. Yeah, there have been plenty of people that made a lot of money with Ripple.
You know?
So
yeah,
it is what it is. I mean, this ain't no JR business. I'm not going to tell you it's I'm not going to tell you it's lit and on fire.
Greatest thing ever.
Should do the JR business challenge where you have to see how long you can watch a JR business video without like attempting suicide. Or flipping out.
It was a joke at first.
No, dude, I don't know what
I was
those.
like, this must be a joke.
It's the cringiest crypto YouTubers I've ever seen.
Like, you're 12 years old.
It's up here, and then it was like, and then it just went down like this, and then after that,
like I can't tell.
It went back up. It's just a bunch of privileged kids that their mommy and daddy probably has an expensive car lot. And they walk around in it, and they're like, I bet we could film videos in this, and people will believe us that we own these cars. And then they drive around in the cars, and they have a bunch of high school girls walk up, and they're like, oh, wow, you did get the Lambo. Yeah. And they're like 16 years old, this clickbait baby girls. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, God, like this is, I don't think I should be watching this. And it's a bunch of high school kids trying to pick up high school little girls on YouTube with their Lambos that they clearly never afforded and that their parents probably have some. I want to know the story of JR Business and JR Garage. I want to know the full story. I want to know why they have these cars. There's no way that just because he was a fucking coin collector. That's the story about it. That's the story they see, is that he was a coin collector on his newspaper route, and that he sold all his coins and then started a business of what? It's not even specified. And then they walk around in this garage with these high-end cars that looks like it literally looks like a car dealership. Like they sit on seats that actually look like they would belong in a car dealership. Like when you're waiting for the fucking guy to like get your
fucking mud flaps put
your
on.
financing approved, and you wait in that seat with the little handle. You know what I'm talking about, in an office, and you're in the cubicle waiting on the salesman to come back with your financing offer and shit.
Is he gonna fuck me?
And it's just, oh my God, I have no idea why so many people are subscribed to it. It blows my mind, dude. I don't get it. Like, dude, Trevon James made a video recently, and I tried to watch it. I watched it for about a few minutes, and it's like, Bitcoin needs to get to here, it's called. It's like his second to latest video. And all he does is he's like looking at the chart, and he's like, it was down here, and it needs to get over 8,000 and stay there. And you're like, yeah, like, what do you mean it needs to get over 8,000 and stay there? Like, no shit. Like, what are you talking about? It needs to stay there. What does that even mean? It's just nothing. It's like a burger with no burger and just two pieces of bread. He's like, it's going up and then it's going down. And oh my God, it drives me crazy. Like, if you don't have any content or anything good to say about the price going up and down or why it's going up and down, don't even make the video. Why make the video?
Because he gets his views, man.
Whenever I
He
make
gets his views.
whenever I make a video of why the price is going up and down, I provide numerous news articles that will that correlate with Bitcoin and why that may have drawn the price down. Right? I try to like correlate. I don't just like look at a Ripple chart and then be like, oh, it needs to go to $5 because if it does, it's got to stay there. Like what is that? What is the point of that? Oh. Pump and dump is how they make their money, but how'd they get their money in the first place?
Yeah.
Ripple's gonna be the biggest decentralized coin. Yeah, that was so funny. That was the best. Hey, MrSotko, what do you think about National Socialism? You mean like fascism? I love me some fascism.
What do you think about National Socialism?
I don't know, man. National Socialism. If that's in reference to Stalin showing up and delighting us with his presence, you mean communism?
That's communism.
Like Marxism, Leninism. Yeah, National Socialism is fascism.
Completely different ideology.
Stupid.
Everybody,
pump and dump. Yeah, that's how they make their money.
trolling.
But I mean, how did they get the money to pump and dump in the first place? By his paper route. You know how much money a paper boy makes? My friend was a paper boy when we were like 14 or 13 or something. He would seriously make like a $25 paycheck for a week's work of work, like back in like 1998. Yeah, no, he did not make.
It's not about us. It's not about the little guys.
Because people, let me see, rated PG 13 to 12-year-olds coming in to watch. Yes, true, I agree. Because people want to get richer overnight. I agree.
Yeah.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? I actually kind of like Hawaiian pizza. I tried Hawaiian pizza for the first time when I was about 21. I worked at a Pizza Hut. So that was about like 12, 13 years ago now. When you work at a pizza joint, a lot of people will order a pizza and then they just never show up to pick it up. So you end up having like 3 pizzas in the oven at the end of the day. And one of the pizzas was Hawaiian pizza. And I'm like, I've never tried Hawaiian pizza. Let me try a bite. And I was like, that's surprisingly good. The sweetness of the pineapple is actually really good with the sweetness of like pizza sauce. It's amazing. I don't prefer it though. I don't actually go out of my way to buy it.
What is salt?
What do you think of when it goes down? I think I'm like when it goes down, I'm like I'm thinking it's gonna go up. That's what I think about that. Yes, please, JR Biz. No way he can afford insurance on all those cars being that young. And exactly, like if you go to JR Business, it says that he was a newspaper boy or a paper route or whatever, and he was obsessed with buying old coins, which is fine with me because when I was a kid, I still have like 20,000 football cards. Like I still have like 20 Barry Sanders, like 80 Emmitt Smith cards, Troy Aikman, all this stuff. But you're not gonna like just because you were buying coins doesn't mean that you're gonna be able to buy like 28 Lambos. No, what I'm suspecting is that their parents own a car lot and that they use it for to pretend that they're a businessman. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking at this salt thing. They keep talking about this salt. It's some sort of loans by the blockchain.
Oh yeah, I think I have heard of salt.
This looks odd.
I still look 21. Yes, I know I do. Especially if I shave, they got me looking like a pile. That's if anybody ever went to boot camp. You like pineapple on pizza unsubbed? Hey, MrSotko, what do you think of communism? I like National Socialism better than communism, my friend. Sorry, Stalin.
That's true.
I'm so sorry. But we did really appreciate your T-34s.
Yeah, thank you.
They are one bad machine, dude.
Thank you for sacrificing 21 million of your people so we didn't have to be under Nazism.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Love that pizza. It's not a good mix in the tummy. Stalin did nothing wrong. I don't think I'd do well in your government. Do you think it's the end of lending platforms? Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Once BitConnect went down, Devore followed. It was like at $150 when BitConnect went down, and now it's I think it's literally 2 cents. Like you can actually look up Devore coin. I think it's actually 2 cents right now. and all of them will follow. I mean, you could probably go to like Falcon Coin Reddit. If you go to Devore Coin Reddit, it's just filled with trolls of people like pissed and people trolling anybody that invested into it. And all those trolls are going to go to Falcon Coin. They're all going to go to Thorn Coin. They're all going to go to lending platforms. No lending platform is safe. I invest in ETHLend. I've never heard of ETHLend. What is ETHLend?
Blend?
Is it another lending coin?
Sounds like
man. It. I don't mean to bash anybody that went into a lending coin. Start lending, yeah, dude. Sorry, man, but here's what I advise to anybody that's in a lending coin right now. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Don't feel bad. Just what you need to do is that every time you get like a payment, like an interest payment, take that payment and then turn it back into the coin and then send it into as Bitcoin back to your account. Even if you're going to lose money, because if you don't do that now, you will lose money. You'll lose it all. Yeah, it's at 0.001 cent right now. Yes. Oh wow. Do I have astigmatism? No, I have just nearsightedness. I mean, I don't really know. I'm not an optometrist. I usually actually record with my glasses off because of the glare. I'm not that nearsighted though. I'm not that bad. My mother, however, was like almost legally blind without her glasses. She, instead of like 20/20 vision, she had like 10/2000 vision. Something like that.
I want you to look into this. What is this?
Please look into it. Sorry, man. I just don't touch. I don't touch lending coins.
Done with them.
It's just not good, man. I'm sorry, dude.
You're not an idiot. Just
the internet is in a rage right now. Any lending coin that pops up,
people are gonna get slaughtered.
It's gonna get slaughtered. Exactly. It's the best way to put it.
Yeah, it's gonna get slaughtered.
It's unfortunate. I'm sorry that I even have to say that. Like I don't mean to be rude. I just don't.
Yeah.
It's gonna get killed. Because of the FUD, because of the huge FUD around it, people are just massively selling off. And so a lot of these lending coins, because somebody asked how they work. So, what are... they're legumes, aren't they? Not nuts, they're rather legumes.
Yeah. Seedlings.
As if I really know the difference between that anyway. They come in a... Well, yeah, they come in a little shell, or... I don't know. Whatever. But how they work, a lot of them are... Some of them are Bitcoin... excuse me, are trading bots, and they'll trade on the various platforms and attempt to trade for you and then give you the profits based on that.
Yeah.
Some of them are arbitrage traders, which Devore Coin was. So arbitrage is basically if you have one exchange here and then you have one exchange here. Something is worth $1 on this exchange, but on the other exchange it might be worth $2. It's probably not going to be that big of a difference, 100% difference, but you get what I'm saying there. So what you could do is buy on this exchange, then send it all to the next exchange, sell it at $2, and then go back to the other exchange, buy it at $1, and then keep doing that. And so all these exchanges, they'll vary at different prices. Like you can go to Binance or Bitfinex right now and look at the price of Bitcoin, and then go to GDAX and look at the price of Bitcoin, and they're going to be different. So you can actually make a lot of money between them. But the problem is you have to send your Bitcoin back and forth to do it, and the network fees would probably eat you up eventually. But it's possible to be done. And arbitrage has been around for a long time, depending on the markets. I mean, you can take one thing here and sell it there. That's basically arbitrage. So those lending platforms will do that too. But if the FUD is so great that they're selling off that coin and they're bringing it down to pennies or just mere dollars, it doesn't have enough leverage against the other coins. It's not, if it's worth $150, it's going to go strong until the end of time. But if it dies down to $1 or 50 cents, or like Devore right now is at a penny or less, it can't be done. If it says lend in the name, it'll die. In the reference to Lendroid. Everyone is transitioning to staking platforms. That is what I've been talking about. That's proof of stake. That's proof of stake. So there's a few things. There's like proof of capacity, and proof of capacity coins. One is called like I think that one of the only ones is called Burst, and this is a proof of capacity coin. So basically, if you have a hard drive, like let's say you have a terabyte hard drive, it will use a huge portion of that hard drive and then generate coins that way. So if you had hard drive after hard drive after hard drive, the bigger the better, the more coins you would produce. Then there's proof of work, which is what we pretty much all know and mine. So when you're mining on your GPU or your ASIC, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Btrash, like Litecoin, those are all proof of work, so that you make that coin using your GPU or your processor or whatever. And then there's proof of stake, where you put it in a wallet and you have that wallet connected to the internet at all times, and transactions and such are verified via your wallet depending on how many coins you have, and the more coins you have, the more coins that you generate. So that's what staking is. And I think that proof of stake will be the future, and Ethereum 2.0 will be a staking coin. And I just think it's the future, because I don't think this can continue very long. And so if you guys know, I mean, if you even remotely think about economics or, you know, materials, how can we continue to make these GPUs and keep up with it that fast with the demand? Because, I mean, if you just go to Newegg right now and type in GTX 1080 Ti, they're like $1,300. But
Ridiculous.
They're supposed to be like $800 or $700. So that just goes to show that the demand is so great for GPUs right now, and processors and ASICs and chips and materials, that eventually I think proof of stake will look a lot better and better as it goes on. I mean, ETHLend, dude, it could be different, but again, if it says lend in the name, dude, people are gonna FUD the shit out of it. It just is. Litecoin versus Ethereum, if you had an unlimited budget to trade, which one would you guys go for? It looks like more price movement in Litecoin. It usually is. There's usually more price movement in Litecoin. Like, so for example, if you go to Litecoin, GDAX here, where was it? When was it that it went to yeah, here it goes. It went to $400, up from 100. If I could look back just one more day with this, you would see that it was at like 100, or maybe 2 more days. You would see that it was at $100, about $100, and within a day or two, it went to 400. So that's fourfold, right? So that's, you know, 4 times your money. If you put in $1,000, you would now have like approximately 4,000. So that's great, right? Well, whereas Bitcoin, for example, it's at 8,600 now, and at its peak, it was at, let's just call it 2,000, and let's call this price right now 9,000. So that's only a little bit more than double, not even remotely triple. And then if you look at Ethereum did go up quite a bit, and it looks like we have a little bit of a calculation error there, and it went way up. Oh no, that's Bitcoin Cash. Never mind. Sorry guys. Whoops. So it was at about $700, went to about $1,400. So that's double, which is good, which is amazing. To double your money is amazing. But Litecoin has bigger price movement. But do I think that Litecoin will eventually beat Ethereum? No. Ethereum is much more useful. But in terms of your day trading, Litecoin will make you more money. Yeah, and if you think about it, yeah, Litecoin was 60 just for a few months before that, and then a couple months before that, it was. You guys remember when it was at $90, and then the China ban happened, and Litecoin went all the way down to about $32. So if you think about it that way, it was at $32, and you know, up to $400 is, do the math, like, you know, like 10 times to like 13 times as much or something. So if you put in $1,000 and you come out with 13,000, that's incredible. But yeah, Yeah, I honestly prefer to trade Litecoin generally. Yeah. It just has more volatility to it, and it can change, you know, like 10% in a day, you know, at a time and shit. We got any good stuff? We got any good stuff on Bitcoin Reddit or not? Oh no, Bitcoin hodlers during the next bull run. Just to let you know, I can do that, guys, but I don't want to, so I'm not gonna. Ooh, my baby boy sounds like he's awake in the room. The stream may be coming to an end. What will we all do? Probably play PUBG or something.
Yeah, probably.
They're saying Bitcoin is more stable than stocks right now. Yeah, the Dow really dropped, but I don't know about that. Russian nuclear scientist again arrested for Bitcoin mining plot. Roger Ver gets wrecked on the Alex Jones show. Oh god, that was glorious.
It was glorious.
I can't even really apologize for being so biased against Bitcoin Cash. It's just it's the bane of the crypto world. It has caused more dips, more problems, more confusion than any other crypto, and it's all unnecessary. It does not have to be that way. It doesn't have to exist. There's no reason for it to exist. Roger Ver is a notorious scammer for years and years and years. I mean, all you have to do is just Google it. All you have to do is just Google it, and you can find just. And then he convinces Jihan Wu to only sell Antminers in Bitcoin Cash. So that means you got to go on to Coinbase, or you got to go on to an exchange.
Fucking douche.
Buy Bitcoin Cash, then send that Bitcoin Cash to get your ASIC miner. That in itself is a scam. So you mean to tell me, realistically, to my face, that ASIC miners, that this CEO will only accept Bitcoin Cash because he believes that that's going to make him the most money. So he's going to disregard Bitcoin. He's going to disregard Ethereum, Litecoin, the US dollar, the king of cash, euros, everything else in the world except for Bitcoin Cash? Are you kidding me? No, that's called a conspiracy. That's a conspiracy. I don't care what anybody says. Bitcoin Cash, it has created more problems than any other cryptocurrency. And confusion and people buying it, and then it went on Coinbase. People are like, "Oh, look how low Bitcoin has gotten. I'll put a bunch of money into that." And then they're like, "Oh, it was BCH, not Bitcoin. Like, what's the difference?" It's just unnecessary confusion. I mean, Bitcoin Gold didn't create that kind of confusion, right? Because it doesn't have a why? Because it doesn't have a scammer, a conspiracist behind it that works behind the scenes against all other cryptos. So Bitcoin Gold is sitting off by itself, doing what cryptos do, just being, you know, cool, whereas Bitcoin Cash is turn on super simple songs for the boy. I'll tell you what my boy really likes. I'll tell you what my boy really likes is every time, because my wife will watch HGTV for like 4 hours, and there's this commercial that comes on all the time, and it has that Sheryl Crow, like "Every Day's a Winding Road," and it's only for like 7 seconds the song plays in this commercial, but as soon as my baby hears it, he instantly just starts dancing for like 5 seconds straight, and then he's just like, "Oh, it's over," and then he just runs off and does his own thing. Man, he must love Sheryl Crow. I don't know. Yeah, and so a lot of people are like, okay, so with Bitcoin Cash, sure, it's a more functional coin because they use Lightning Network, but that makes it more centralized, and so it works better. Yes, and some people think that that Bitcoin has no response to that, but Bitcoin developers. People say the Bitcoin developers don't do anything and that they're just sitting around and nothing is getting done. But the thing is that they are, but crypto is a mutual world, right? So like SegWit could have been activated on Coinbase long ago, and that would solve a ton of problems of Bitcoin, but they didn't, right? But that's not on the developers. The developers can't force everybody to use SegWit or to use Lightning Network or to use this method or the other method. They can't do that because that's not how crypto works, right? You can choose to put your Bitcoin in a SegWit address and it'll work better, but that's your choice, right? So Bitcoin Cash is so centralized that all they have to do is go, we're going to do this, and then force everybody to do that, right? So that's the huge difference. That is the huge difference, is that Bitcoin Cash forces you to do it this way or do it that way. Whereas the Bitcoin developers, they develop something, and then they're like, well, it's up to the people if they want to accept it or not. That is the difference. Get wrecked, Roger Ver. If anybody wanted to hear, a Bitcoin response that nobody seems to have, that's it. I think I won the internet for approximately 37 seconds, in my opinion. But, you know, it's going to be short-lived. I can put my Burger King crown on, and then it's just going to get ripped off. It's going to get just ripped away by the fast speed of the internet. Right.
I don't think Binance was hacked. I'm seeing several articles. They're denying it adamantly.
Binance? Yeah, I saw that they were down for a while. Yeah.
That they've been hacked.
Well, I mean, that kind of happened with NiceHash, is that they were like, we're in maintenance mode. And then they're like, 4 hours later, they're like, we were hacked.
JK, we got fucked.
JK, we got hacked. We were in maintenance mode, JK hacked.
Oh, man. Funny.
So that's the difference between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. Is that Bitcoin, you're in control. Bitcoin Cash, you have a slave master who will tell you what to do.
Yep.
That's it. Plain and simple. You don't need any more argument. Like, that's it.
It's that simple.
Like, do you want a slave master? Do you want a slave master? If the answer is yes, then you accept Bitcoin. You know what I mean? You can do whatever you want, and that's the wonderful world of crypto. But do you want to choose what what implementations you want in your Bitcoin? Bitcoin. And I never hear anybody say it that way. You know, when people argue against Bitcoin Cash and stuff, all the Bitcoin cashers just, you know, on the Reddits and stuff, they're like, oh, Bitcoiners never have an argument. They never can say anything, you know, and that all the fees are really high and it's unusable. Well, sometimes that's true, but a lot of the times that's based on the fact that, you know, like GDAX needs to implement SegWit, or maybe you're not on a SegWit wallet and the other person receiving it isn't either, or you're not using this or that. So there's a lot of things to work out. There really is. But Bitcoin Cash just decided for you. They're like, yeah, we're going to centralize the shit out of this.
Yeah. You
have no choice in it. I don't know. I can't agree with that. And then also, you know, some salesman comes up to me and be like, hey, you want to buy my Buick? And I'm like, I don't think that's a Buick, dude. I'm like, no, I put a Buick logo on it. It's a Buick. It's a Buick now. I'm pretty sure that's a Chevy Corsica, dude. He's like, no, it's a Buick because I put Buick in the name. And if you call it Chevy Corsica again, I'm gonna give you the middle finger and I'm gonna rage quit out of this interview.
Chevy Corsica.
I'm gonna rage quit out of this interview if you call it Chevy Corsica one more time. That's a Buick because I put a Buick logo on it.
And be a douche. Because it got again. And he continues it. He just continues his chicanery.
It's so bad, dude. Did anybody watch that Alex Jones video? With Roger Ver in it. It's about halfway through the episode, so I don't recommend watching the whole thing because, you know, it's Alex Jones. But it's so funny, dude. There was like 3 or 4 callers that called in, and as soon as they called in, they just started destroying Roger Ver. Some of it was just totally irrelevant to crypto. They're like, he got arrested for selling explosives on eBay, and it's just so funny. He deserves all. He's such a paid shill. And then he's like, who knows? Roger Ver like struck back. He's like, who knows? He's like, this guy could just be a paid Bitcoin shill for all we know. Yeah, because everybody's just paying people to call into the Alex Jones show to call you out, Roger Ver. Get the fuck out of here. Nice try, Roger Ver.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I wonder how much that guy got paid to call in and tell the truth about you, Roger Ver. I wonder. No, no. How about you tell us how much you got paid first, Roger Ver, or how much you're getting paid for doing this, and how much you're getting paid for convincing Jihan Wu to sell his Antminers and only BCH for absolutely no good reason, and then I'll tell you. How about that? Such bullshit. I can't get over it. Like, when I get on it, I get on a tirade.
Oh, man. Bcash.
It's the worst.
Bcash.
Yeah, Roger Ver's like Candyman. If you go into your bathroom and you close the door and turn off the lights, and then you look into the mirror and you say Bcash, 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 Roger Ver will come and he'll rage at you
And flip you off.
No, 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 no! Don't call it a Chevy Corsica. I put a Buick logo on it. It is a Buick. Call it a Buick. Call it a Buick, or I will rage at you. Like, like Bitcoin Cash could have been called anything else. It could have just been. It could have been anything, any name. Can you do some more videos on trading analysis and techniques? Yeah, I might eventually. It was a DDoS attack on their service on Binance. What do you think about Bitcoin Gold? You know, I don't think too much of it, to be totally honest. It's I think doesn't Bitcoin Gold have like SegWit 2x? And so it has like 8 megabyte blocks, something like that. Or is it 4 megabyte blocks? It's not particularly useful. I mean, it's good. Like, it'll work as a currency, but I don't see anything like... I don't see anything that's insanely special about it. No, I do not still play Wargame. From time to time, I wish I still did. But the only problem with Wargame Red Dragon is that nobody plays it anymore. It's so dead. I haven't been on it in months. I would imagine there's only probably like 700 or 800 people on it right now. But I did pretty good at that game. I was pretty good at that game. If I tried to play it now, I'd probably be pretty bad because I haven't played it in God, like maybe 6 to 8 months, maybe longer. But I was a lieutenant colonel. I got rank like 150-ish. And I really couldn't get any higher. Every time I would queue, I'd kind of get my ass kicked by like a rank 1 general or something. But I'm pretty good at the game. And I wish that it had a bigger following so that I could still easily play it. Because like sometimes you can get into a game, in a war game, and like, you know, set up a lobby. And I've waited 20 to 30 minutes before a lobby gets started. I think I've waited longer than that before. 4 megabyte blocks for Bitcoin Gold. Yeah, and Bitcoin Gold is Equihash too.
Yeah.
I still play Company Heroes 2, and I play PUBG a lot. Company Heroes 2 I'm very good at too. Although I guess I should leave that up to other people to say. But I got like rank 17 in OKW 3 vs 3 randoms. 1 vs 1 I've gotten like 150 with US, 2 vs 2, 150 with like Wehrmacht and stuff. So I'm competitive. I'm competitive at it. I'm not the best, but I can get up there when I get competitive and when I play game after game after game and start to get really good and warm my hands up. I'm good at that game. But I play PUBG the most because it's just the funnest to like play with my friends. But I'm definitely not remotely as good at first-person shooter than I am at RTS games. When can we get 1 terabyte blocks for Bitcoin? Another meme review video. I didn't think anybody actually wanted another one. I just felt like doing it. I thought it was kind of funny. I might make another one, but I don't know. Yeah, I might. I don't know. I made that video kind of hastily. You know, and I got some memes, but it might be cooler if I really get all kinds of good memes. but I just thought it was funny just to like grab a whole bunch of them and then kind of like be surprised by the memes. The 300 one was my favorite. Nope, this didn't go as planned. Ha ha ha! Look at this guy though. Look at this tool bag. BCH, please. And if you call him Bcash, oh, he freaks out at you. Thankfully, these supplements can cure the cancer this show gave me. Yeah, exactly. Heard he got wrecked by a caller. He got wrecked by numerous callers.
Yeah.
Caller got wrecked by not providing coherent arguments. Yeah, I don't know about that. Let's just mute this guy immediately, because I don't want to hear your propaganda. It's like people are just... I don't get the BCH promoters. I don't get it. Like, if you think logically and soundly and objectively about Bitcoin Cash, the only conclusion you can come up with is that it's centralized. It's made and developed by and promoted by like Roger Ver or whoever, I don't know, who is a notorious scammer and conspirator. There is nothing about it that's good. I don't get it. I think people, I don't know. I can't even. Like, can you make money with it? Yes. Like, you can buy Bitcoin Cash, and if the price goes up, you can sell it. But there's nothing. It's like people defending the guy that slapped a Buick logo on the Chevy Corsica, and they're like, no, this is a great car. This is the way that Buick intended it to be. Is the Chevy Corsica? And you're like, no, it's not. Literally, somebody just stole Bitcoin from Bitcoin and decided to make their own Bitcoin, and that's okay. But you don't have to like. You don't have to shill it so hard that you cause panic, FUD, and conspiracies and confusion amongst the public. Like if you want to, like for example, Litecoin is literally Bitcoin. All Chris Lee did was increase the supply and reduce the target time for the blocks and such, and boom, you have Litecoin. But he didn't cause FUD with it. He didn't like name it Bitcoin. It's just Litecoin. It's Bitcoin Lite. You know what I mean? So you can make a coin based on another coin. I don't have a problem with that. But like if you make your Bitcoin Cash and then conspire against the world with it, no, you're a douche. You know what? Scar L for the iron sights has the best iron sights in the game, in my opinion, and M4 for everything else. Yeah, I know. Stalin, I know. You had the 300 meme. That was my favorite one. Yeah, that was my favorite one of the day. Although my favorite gun in PUBG is probably the Vector. I love the Vector. A fully decked out Vector is so good at close range. It annihilates people. And I don't see it used enough, you know? Like, I watch, like, Dr. Disrespect from time to time because he's amazing and hilarious. You know, like, those, like, Enshroud and Vis and, like, some of those streamers, like, those really good PUBG streamers. And nobody ever uses the Vector. But I admit, if you have an M4 and it's like a fully decked out M4, you have no need for the Vector. But so here's the way it goes out for me in PUBG. If I'm running around and I find a Vector, if I find a Vector first before anything, I'll keep that as my automatic weapon, and then I'll try to find like a K98 or something for my sniper, and then I'm happy with that. But overall, yes, the M4 is easily the best gun in the game. Of course, the Groza is amazing too. The Groza is so stupid good, but you know, you never get it. It's a
get murdered.
I don't really count crate drops because you're not going to get it every game or even every other game. What are my predictions for Bitcoin price at the end of the year? You know, I really don't know. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that too. Does the question even matter? Right? As long as Bitcoin goes up more than what it is now, or at least back up to 20K or more, I think that would be satisfying enough. Because, like, let's say you bought like $10,000 worth of Bitcoin right now at 8.7K, you know, and it went up to 20K by the end of the year, I think that's good enough. You know, all the people saying 100K and a million and stuff like that. It doesn't necessarily need to be there. Of course, I would like it to be there. Like, I think everybody wants it to go to $1 million, you know, that are holding it. But, you know, is it? I think by the time it would go to $1 million per Bitcoin, I think by then, either Ethereum would pass it up, or Ethereum 2.0, or some new crypto that nobody can think of now that just blows it out of the water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like there's going to be something that comes along, some kind of technology that comes along that is going to be so good that nobody could have thought of it, and it's just going to blow Bitcoin out of the water. And that's just the way technology goes. I mean, you know, you get your new processor, and you're like, this is the best processor in the world. It cost me $1,200 for this. Nothing will ever beat this, which would be a silly thing to say, because like 2 years later, it's, you know, there's going to be a processor that blows that out of the water. And it's just the way technology goes. And is it going to be 10 years? Is it going to be a year? Is it going to be 40 years until Bitcoin is defeated? It will be eventually. I think so. Unless the entire world adopts Bitcoin as a whole. Like, all countries basically use it as their main currency. The whole world uses it as their main currency. All other currencies are dropped like a bad habit. And Bitcoin, I think it'll get... And plus, by then, like, let's say 40 or 50 years from now, that is true, which I doubt it, but let's just say it is. I think by then, Bitcoin will be unrecognizable. Like, because it'll have, like, some kind of network or Lightning Network or, like, SegWit attached to it that will be unrecognizable from today's Bitcoin. In order to facilitate the transferring of billions of people using Bitcoin. It'll be unrecognizable. In the same way that if you look at a car from like the 1940s and then you look at a car today, you know, like under the hood, yeah, sure, both of them have an engine under there, but like the new car would be unrecognizable to somebody in the 40s, like, because there's all these catalytic converters and there's these electronic parts and throttle position sensor and all this stuff that just didn't exist then. Fuel injection, computers, electronics, that just didn't exist in a car. So like that same car in the 40s would be unrecognizable today because it's just so different and so many additional features packed into it to make sure that it's suitable for today's needs. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys showing up. I think I will probably get on out of here. I hear my baby waking up, and I'm gonna go see what he's up to. I'm gonna play a little bit, have some fun. But thanks for showing up, and thanks for listening to me rant about Bitcoin Cash and stuff. I will try to do this once in a while, like live streaming, but honestly, like, I'm a busy guy. You know, I try to make videos in between parenting and doing everything in my life. You know, that thing that gets in between games and stuff called life. But I appreciate you guys showing up, and let me give my usual YouTube, and I'll see you guys next time.